What's up, BookTube? I think it's been a few weeks. Had a few things going on, you know. Stuff happens. Cheers, my friends. So, had a few projects. My cousin, she needed a porch built. And, she's kind of taking care of her mom, so I tried to get that done, and then I had a submission deadline, and the editor contacted me. It was a bit late, and I'd sent him part of a hard copy. Turned out I had to go through this other place called Submittable. I wasn't aware of that, so it kind of cut my time down. And so then I had to reformat my files, which I'm not a computer guy. So I contacted my cousin who lives 100 miles away. He's actually my second cousin. Got a lot of cousins. And I had to put it in a zip file, whatever, send it to him. He had to go through it, convert it, then he had to ship it back to me. And I started working on it in the evenings and had 300 some pages done. Now, this is an 830 page novel, 210,000 words. Come to find out, somehow I lost those. So the submission deadline was down to probably 16 hours. So in 14 hours time, I edited an 832 page manuscript, figured out barely how to send it to the editor or the publisher, whatever. Anyway, so I spent 14 hours on a computer one day from morning, took a couple breaks, but, and got in under the submission deadline by 4 hours, I think. So anyway, we'll see how that pans out. So now, on to, pardon my tummy there. Let me drink a little, might settle down. On to what I read, what I planned to read. Had some buddy reads planned. They didn't pan out. I went ahead and read a couple of the books. If I do a buddy read with someone, I try not to bother them, because, everybody has a life and people have to do certain things, and sometimes, you don't have time to read, so. But anyway, I went ahead and read The Word for World is Forest by Ursula K. LeGuin, and hadn't read anything of hers in, I think, since the 70s. And obviously this book would be something that I liked. You have outsiders on a planet. The planet has its own species and their culture, and the outsiders, they call them creatures. Of course, they're there to harvest their natural resources. Here is what they look like. Pretty cool, huh? So I got into this book, and it really reminded me of Midworld. Obviously it would take something to beat Midworld, and a bit of Avatar too. I've got a note here. Let me see. Okay, let me see. It says page 9, third paragraph. Let me see what my note is supposed to remind me of. Page 9, third paragraph. Okay, first of all, they're talking stuff about, you know, they call them the Creechies. This guy here refers to them as the little bastards. Then they leaned on their backsides on a split rail fence. Davison lit his first reefer of the day. Sunlight smoke blued, slanted warm across the air. The forest behind camp, a quarter-mile wide uncut strip, was full of the faint, ceaseless, cracking, chuckling, stirring, whirring, silvery noises that woods in the morning are full of. It might have been Idaho in 1950, this clearing, or Kentucky in 1830, or Gaul in 50 BC. To wit, said a distant bird. But I gave this 4.5 stars if you like sci-fi, and I plan to read more Ursula K. So this is quite enjoyable, and like I said, it's not mid-world, but it's pretty daggone close. So. And oh, Amy, if you get a chance. I know she was going to try to get a copy of it, but like I said, I don't pressure people. Then I read Keep No Record by Cassie Beebe. She is a booktuber, author. I think her channel is Cassie TL. I may have said that wrong. You basically, in this one, you have Jacob. He's the bad guy / killer. Then you have Sarah, the good girl, who is a criminal psychologist. She's trying to get inside this dude's head and try to get him to reveal himself, because the cops are having a hard time catching this guy. So like I said, I don't do spoilers, but ultimately they wind up being a lot closer than what she would have wanted. And like I said, I don't do spoilers. She tries to gain his trust, and it goes a bit beyond that. But I gave this 4 stars. There's a lot of psych stuff going on. And oh, by the way, this was for Todd and Dane's indie read-along. So, like I said, we support indie authors, and I recommend everyone else do that. So, you might want to check this out if you like crime fiction. Then I gave Ramsey Campbell a whirl again. The Count of 11. This was a book with some humor in it. Jack, the main character, has a run of bad luck. He chalks that up to the fact that he did not respond to this chain letter he received. There's a lot of weird stuff going down with what they call the blowtorch, which we just call it a propane torch over here. But his business burns down. He doesn't have any insurance. He starts making really, really bad decisions. There's some strange stuff going on. He kind of regresses into a bit of a psycho. I don't want to give spoilers or give the story away, but Ramsey Campbell, I don't know. I have a hard time with his stuff. Ancient Images, I tried that one. Didn't really do it for me, and this one didn't really do it for me. I mean, I gave it 3 stars. I know he's a popular writer, but when I spend my time reading, I like for stuff to be going on. Maybe it's me. Everyone has different tastes, so for good Lord, is it May? back. I gotta grab another book. Alright, I got the other book. So, this is my May TBR. Hopefully it works out better than last month. But like I said, stuff happens, and you know, I didn't have a lot of reading time myself, so you know, I don't fault other folks for having the same issues. First of all, I'm going to read James Baldwin, Go Tell It on the Mountain. I have read The Fire Next Time, and I was instantly a Baldwin fan because his writing is just, it's pretty incredible. This is about a 14-year-old boy who discovers on a Saturday in March 1935 he's the stepson of a minister, so in Harlem. I don't know if I mentioned that, but which is kind of, you know, fitting because the novel I just submitted, the part of that book takes place in Harlem. So then I have Bria, Felicien, again another booktuber, and this is for Todd and Dane's indie read along. And she's a booktuber, and when I come across booktubers who are indie authors, at some point I will pick up a copy of their book. And this one's basically YA. It's probably a romance or thereabouts. It's about relationships, and that's alright. Like I said, I support indie authors, so I'm looking forward to this one. I was looking for an author photo, but there's not one. Then, hear a whippoorwill outside. I have Fog Warning by yet another booktuber, Edward Lorn, known as E to his friends. Don't know if I'm one, but E, I'm looking forward to this man. So, if you haven't read any of Edward Lorn's stuff, I read a couple pages of this, and I can tell you, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. The pace is, it's really good. And then I'm going to read Women by Charles Bukowski. And this is my first venture into Bukowski since college, and I was a non-traditional student. Went to college in my 30s, so whatever year I had my creative writing class, it's in my transcripts up here. They covered a little Bukowski, but I didn't realize at the time probably how good he was. So I know Dane's a big fan, and I've heard several other people talk about Bukowski. So another book I'm looking forward to. Then, if me and Ollie Bliss can get on the same page, we're going to try to do a buddy read on The Crook Factory by Dan Simmons. Goes to whippoorwill again. Got to be right out in the yard. Cool. Every time I talk, it quits. So there we go. That is it. Hopefully I can become a regular booktuber again. We'll have to see what happens. Got a few things I have to do, but thinking within about a month or so I'm going to have a lot more free time. So we're all the masters of our destiny. Okay, enough babbling. Thanks for watching. Like I said, excuse me, if you want to support this channel, send me a box of money, beef jerky, You know, like I said, thanks for sticking around and watching. I appreciate that. So I'll catch y'all later. Bye.